Hello everyone, my name is Pepsilk and welcome to Thoughts On. This is a series where I analyze games and give my opinions on them. Today, we'll be looking at the Black Ops Cold War Open Beta. Just as a quick disclaimer before I start the video, I played the PC Crossplay Open Beta, which went for 4 days, extending another day actually due to the fact that the community solved the ARG Easter egg, which I thought was cool. I have no idea what it was about, but that's the reason why they extended it. And the last day as well, they also unlocked all the attachments for all the guns. So they basically just made double XP and double weapon XP enabled a waste of time because they just ended up, Treyarch just said, fuck it, we'll just unlock all the attachments so everyone can try whatever the hell they want and see how they feel and maybe gather some further thoughts on what they think of the beta as a whole. Let's talk about gameplay. Now, I gotta give props to Treyarch for taking us back to the arcade feel of COD instead of the realistic approach that Infinity Ward took with MW. Because I've always liked the arcade feel, like just being able to run around, shoot people, feel good doing it when you reload your gun and swap it out, seeing muzzle smoke come out when you shoot the gun. I know this is like kind of obvious, but like just the way that the game feels, it feels very different to MW. With MW though, I liked MW for the fact that the gun animations and sounds were so good. Like, I'm talking exceptionally well done. Because it took me a while to get used to the gameplay in Modern Warfare. Because when I first played the campaign didn't feel... It felt very different to what the Modern Warfare campaigns were before. And we can even talk about the Black Ops campaigns too. But Treyarch and Infinity Ward have always done their gameplay a bit different. Black Ops 2 has always been more about the arcadey approach. In MW, though they did have an arcade approach to their old games, it still felt a little bit more realistic, in my opinion. I think MW has the best animations in any Call of Duty, and COD developers from here on out will have to try and either match those animations, should they go with the arcadey approach and make them feel a bit realistic, or just go for the realism route, make the animations cool, and then maybe keep the arcade experience in terms of map design and gunplay, or something like that. I'm not really sure what they could do necessarily, but MW's animations are they're just so good. I can't get over how good they are. Compared to Cold War just feels like a disappointment in terms of animations. I'm not saying the animations are bad. I think the animations in Cold War are pretty good. They've changed a lot from the alpha from what I've seen from gameplay, so I gotta give Treyarch props there. But MW's animations, I just don't feel like it can be beat with any other COD game that comes out from here on out. Now, before I talk about the game, I just want to talk about the gamers that were available in the open beta for those who never played. So, the featured gamers, there was Combined Arms, which is pretty much Treyarch's version of Ground War, but with 24 players. There is a Combined Arms Assault mode, which involves just assaulting 1 point. And there is a Domination mode, which is 5 flags, similar to Ground War. I didn't really play it that much, so you're not going to be seeing any gameplay of that, because I played one game and I didn't really enjoy it. I don't feel the big game modes are my cup of tea when it comes to COD. I've always preferred 6v6 or 5v5 game modes over the big game modes. The second game mode was Fireteam Dirty Bomb, which I'll talk about later on in this video. But it's similar to, it has Warzone, it's similar to Warzone Plunder, where it's got like Plunder-like mechanics. And it's a lot of fun, but I'll talk about it later during the video. The third game mode featured was VIP Escort. Now, it's similar to S&D, but instead you're escorting a person instead of planting bombs, and you have to try and protect. It's like a Protect the President game mode with S&D rules. I didn't really play any of that, but I heard it was really fun for a lot of people. The quick play gamers were Team Deathmatch, Domination, Hardpoint, Kill Confirmed, and a new game mode called Control, where it's similar to Battlefield 3 Rush or Battlefield Rush, but instead of bombs, you're attacking flags. And each team has 30 lives, and you can win by either depleting lives or attacking/defending the objectives. I'm going to start with the good things, because I have a lot of good things to say about the Cold War beta, and I've got a lot of niche and bad things to say about the beta. But we'll start with the good. The gunplay. Oh my god, the gunplay is freaking great. It feels right. They improved the animations, like I've said before. Guns feel really nice to shoot. The reload animations are crisp. The kill streaks are pretty fun to use. There's a lot of classic ones. You got the chopper gunner, the war machine, and the attack helicopter. Those are just 3 examples of ones I can think of on the spot. There's a new kill streak called the air patrol, which takes out other kill streaks that are within the field. I don't know if we'll be seeing a lot of this when the game fully releases, unless they make some kind of change to it. I feel like it's more of a niche kill streak to run. It's only crazy when for maybe so much for COD competitive, where you know someone could save an air patrol, and if they get a lot of crazy kill streaks and call their stuff in, they can just burn it out in a press of a button. So it's good to see that they have a kill streak like that in Cold War, and I like it. Map design I thought was pretty good. It's basically the classic Treyarch design template. 3 lanes, not too tight, not too compact. Moscow is probably my favorite map because it's not too crazy. It feels like a old school COD map, not something big like in Modern Warfare, like a Zia Cave. Like whoever likes that map, you should be ashamed of yourself. That map is like so campy and so big. Compare that to Moscow. Moscow is just how a COD map should be designed. A map that I could compare to with the Zia Cave though is Miami. Miami is definitely my least favorite map. That map feels way too spaced out and big. Too many power positions and buildings for people to camp in. My advice, either reduce the map size, or if they do decide to keep it the same, well, we'll just have to deal with it, right? And good thing that the map voting system is back. Thank God that is back. I've been wanting the map voting system to come back for ages. I don't know why they removed it in MW. I don't see the point of them removing it. Unless that's for the sake of an SBMM issue or something like that. I'm not really sure. Don't quote me on that. But they removed the map voting system, and I'm glad that Treyarch brought it back in Cold War. Hopefully they're going to be keeping it towards the full release. Cartel and Satellites they're both pretty good maps. I like Cartel more than Satellite because it's not as big as Satellite. Satellite is actually, it's still 3 lane, but it's a little bit big in terms of when you go to the desert side. It's so big, it's open. You're basically prone to getting sniped, and a lot of people tend to snipe on that map, judging from the players that I played with in the beta. But Satellite has a broken plane in the middle and tight corridors on the left side that they're like really tight, and you can kind of gatekeep and spawn trap a little bit there too, provided you don't push spawns. It's very easy to defend and hold the B site, which is on the plane. But yeah, Satellite is a good map. Cartel, the only thing I would change with Cartel is probably the freaking grass in the middle, because it's too fucking big. But yeah, map design was pretty good. Weapon balancing I feel is freaking amazing. I don't feel like there's any really bad guns. Every gun feels like it hits as it should. Oh yeah, one thing I do want to adjust to the weapon balance. They ended up nerfing the AK from alpha to beta, and then they ended up nerfing the Uzi or the Milano from beta 1 to beta 2. And ever since those changes, the AK-74U, I tried to make it work. For me personally, it feels like it's a good gun, but it feels like it doesn't hit as hard as some of the other guns in the game. But it is balanced. I'm not saying it's not balanced. It's definitely balanced with most of the other assault rifles and SMGs in its class. The ARs felt really nice to use. The LMGs were really fun to use, especially on Fireteam, where you got to opt for range. Sniper rifles, now I like sniper rifles. I hate dying to them in Cold War, but I think sniper rifles are in a pretty good state. You can actually quickscope them. It feels very reminiscent of Black Ops 2 quickscoping with the DSR and the Ballista, except it's just 2 different snipers. Like the Paddington is pretty much the Ballista, and the Tundra is the DSR. And you can get there are some really crazy people out there that have gotten nice clips with snipers. It's crazy to see that snipers are back in the craziest state I've seen in years. Probably since Black Ops 2, to be completely honest with you. Like Black Ops 3 snipers were okay. Black Ops 4 snipers were alright, but I wouldn't say they were great. But I've seen people who still complain about the snipers in Cold War. I hope they don't nerf it further. I feel like snipers are pretty good. Even though they're annoying to die to, you can counter snipers pretty easily by just sliding around. The slide speed in this game is so fast. You can dodge a lot of sniper shots, so it's not too big of an issue. But yeah, weapon balancing for the most part, very good. I don't feel like they have to make any changes. Quick mention of the gunsmith. Now the gunsmith is back from MW in full force. It's pretty much the same system as MW. It's a little bit more compact in terms of what attachments and or like what things affect your guns. But for the most part, it's very similar to MW, and there's a lot of ways to customize your guns and make them fit your playstyle. So, yeah. Last good thing I like about the Cold War beta is the movement. Now, I feel the movement is a little bit different from previous COD games. The perfect example is the sprint speed. Now, when you first sprint, you get like an initial burst. It's kind of similar to tac sprint, but it doesn't last that long. It's like 200 milliseconds or like maybe a bit more, but it's very, very short. You start sprinting, and then after a while, it clocks down to a certain sprint speed, and then you maintain that sprint until you decide to slide or stop sprinting, right? That's why there's a lot of people that I've seen, myself included, like people are still slide canceling for freaking MW because of that initial sprint speed that you get. They want to take advantage of that. So sprint and slide canceling is still kind of a thing in Cold War, but not so much. Drop shotting they've kind of eliminated in a way. So when you go to prone, you don't actually ADS. It turns you to hip firing when you drop shot. So you can only drop shot when you're really close to an enemy or you've got like an SMG. If you have an AR and you try to drop shot with an AR, most of the time it's just not going to work out because you're just going to lose your gunfights due to just missing a bullet or two with hip fire accuracy and all. And yes, jump shotting is still a thing in Cold War. Now, when I first jump shotted with the XM4, which is one of the first guns you get, I thought there was like an accuracy reduction or like they nerfed jump shotting in some kind of way. Because I felt like when I jumped, my shots or my guns swerved to the left. So the gunshots would go somewhere else instead of going directly towards my target when I was jumping. But after I tried it with the Uzi, I put a sight on. If the jump shotting felt more or less the same. I did it with the AK and the Krieg 6 and it felt fine. So it may have just been me, I'm not too sure. But the only difference being that after the first jump, your second jump, you don't get a lot of height. So you can only jump shot once. And then the second time, it's not really worth jumping. It's more or less just you shooting your target. But yes, jump shotting is still a thing and it works in Cold War. As it did in Modern Warfare. Let's talk about the bad things. And the first thing I want to mention is the new score streak system. For your COD veterans, it's like MW3 support streaks, except it's score, not kills. For the new players, when you go on a kill streak, you say you're 1000 score or 100 score off a spy plane, and you die, you retain that, so you're able to earn the spy plane on another death. Secondly, the score streaks go on a cooldown now, so when you earn a spy plane, for example, you have to wait 90 seconds to use a spy plane. I don't know why it exists. Is it to prevent spy plane spamming or kill streak spamming? Score streak spamming, I mean? I don't know. I don't like this system. I think the system is stupid because it can literally reward no skill players or people that camp getting kill streaks. And then, you know, if say you kill the camper, they can still technically earn that kill streak on another death. And I think it's stupid. Not to mention the kill streaks, the score streaks. I keep saying kill streaks. Fuck my life. The score streaks, you end up earning them by the end. Most of the end game streaks, like the chopper gun or the chopper, you get by the end of the game. So by the time it hits that, everyone's going to be using their choppers or their helicopters, providing that with the SBMM because people are so sweaty. And I just think it's ridiculous. I disagree with this system. I think they should revert back to the classic score streak system that we've always had since Black Ops 2. I don't think this system is good. It wastes a lot of time. Yes, it helps to prevent kill streak spamming, and I got to give them props for preventing that spam. That's a fair reason. But any other reason besides that, it just feels pointless. I want to be able to earn spy planes or counter spy planes over and over, even though they can get destroyed so fast. At least maybe add a limit. Add a further limit to how many spy planes or counter spy planes can be up in the air. If they can add a limit for how many choppers and napalms can be up in the air, they can do the same for spy planes. I recall in the alpha, people could call in like fucking 10,000 spy planes. And you'd have to destroy so many of them. Like they could have just got a VSAT off the dome there. So, my advice, revert the score streak system. Bring it back to the old score streak system, the way it should be. So people can get rewarded for playing the objective as well as getting kills and getting, you know, streaks and all that. Like, I mentioned SBMM. That could be a reason why they've added this new streak system to compensate for the SBMM. But we'll talk about SBMM in a moment. Second thing I want to talk about is visibility. Visibility in this game is bad. I watched Exclusive Ace's video on visibility, and it's literally a game of Where's Wally. Like, you could have someone, for example, one of the screenshots he showed off was, I don't want to show it because I haven't asked him, so I'm kind of worried to just like take content from his video, but I'll just explain it. So, in his video, he posted a screenshot of this guy that was in the broken plane. He asked his viewers to try and find out where he is. And I legit did not see him until he pointed out where he was. He was literally on the left side of the plane, just completely invisible. And even if he were to react and shoot him, or he was to shoot you, by the time you try to look around and you see him, you've already lost that gunfight. You've lost milliseconds of time trying to find him, and you lose. And that doesn't apply just to Satellite. It applies to every other map in the game as well. Even Fireteam. Fireteam especially, the visibility is really poor, and it's really hard to see a lot of people. Also, the maps, I'm not sure if it's view distance, because on PC it seems okay, but on consoles, maybe it is a PC thing, I don't know, because I play low settings on PC. But on consoles, the maps appear very, very blurry, so it's very hard to see people at long distances unless you have a scope or a sniper. So they need to either increase the contrast of the player models to complement with the maps that they're in, or maybe just make the maps a little bit lower or brighter, something like that. That's the one improvement I can think of. Just increase the contrast of the character models so they are just as bright as the map, or if not brighter than the actual map themselves, so it's easier to spot them. The other thing I want to briefly mention is skill-based matchmaking. Now, skill-based matchmaking is ridiculous. The first 2 games you play, you're vibing. You're literally just fragging out and killing people and having a good time as if it's a normal COD lobby. After the second lobby, it ramps up sky high to the roof, and you're going up against people that are playing as if they're in the fucking COD championships. It's ridiculous. I don't want to go too much detail into SBMM because I feel like the more we complain about SBMM, the more it'll never get removed. And Activision seem to be sticking with SBMM for the foreseeable future. So I don't see skill-based matchmaking going away at all. There's just no reason to complain or even mention it. Just know that skill-based matchmaking is in this game. It's to benefit both good players and bad players. My opinion, I disagree with skill-based matchmaking. I think it should be removed in general because skill-based matchmaking in games is just not fun at all. And we want to be able to have a pleasant experience. You know, what if content creators want to make content? I mean, technically in Warzone, like, there's skill-based matchmaking, but all the content creators, Tim the Tapman, Nick Mercs, Courage JD, Cloaksy, Jukies, Mutex, all those good guys, they still make really good content because at the end of the day, 150 players, most of those players aren't going to be crazy skill-based matchmaking, so it's like it's an issue for them. This applies more to 6v6 and combined arms. Hopefully they'll maybe tone it down, but I highly doubt it. Last thing I want to touch up on is the hit detection. Now, I didn't get any scenarios in my footage where I'm actually getting ghost bullets, but I had many scenarios off recording where I'd be shooting at a guy for 5-6 bullets and none of those bullets are hitting him. There's no wall over him. I'm clearly aiming directly at him and ghost bullets just start to kick in. I don't know if it's due to desync or it's due to Treyarch desync or due to the connection to the servers. There was no way of checking ping because they removed the ping setting from the settings. So there's no way to tell whether it's connection based or just desync. I feel like it's definitely something to do with connection. I'm hoping that towards the final release, they'll fix the hit detection. And hopefully we won't be getting any more ghost bullets. Because getting ghost bullets on guys that you should be killing and then they end up killing you just sucks. It just sucks. Last thing I do want to talk about before I wrap up today's video is Fireteam Dirty Bomb. Now, Fireteam Dirty Bomb is pretty much similar to Warzone Plunder. Except it's more so about you detonating bombs than actually collecting cash. Like, when I say similar, I mean in terms of collecting minerals or like materials. And you collect uranium and you take the uranium to bomb sites around the map. You deposit your uranium and you have to try and detonate the bombs. The respawns are fast. The only time the respawn's really slow is when you get squad wiped, but aside from that, which is like, I think it's like 20 seconds, but you can get back in extremely fast, and the parachuting and Warzone mechanics from armor plating it's all there. Now, the only things I would want to improve for Fireteam, if they want to keep it as frantic and over the top as it is, maybe just fix the vehicle driving. The vehicle driving feels a bit whack to me. I don't know if that was like the skis, when you drive the skis around, it feels very off. Like, I make it based off the mouse controls, and when you turn left and right with the mouse, it just goes overboard. Like, you go completely to the left side when I just want to be able to go a little bit, not too far. Second thing I would do is add either munitions boxes specifically for Fireteam, or maybe just add ammo drops when you kill enemies, because when you run out of ammo, you're either forced to bash people or just kill yourself, which kind of sucks, and you want to be able to stay on the site and try to hold for as long as you can. So adding ammo drops would be the best bet. Fireteam is fun for two reasons. One, multiple teams can deposit on the same bomb site, and there's a point where you have to actually try and detonate the bomb, and everyone can see it around the map. So like 5 squads could rock up to, let's say, a bomb at one time, and it can be so crazy. It's just you fragging and just trading kills to try and go for the bomb, and it gets so intense, especially when you end up getting a good amount of squad wipes with a solid team, and you guys end up just detonating the bomb. Because when 4 of you are in the vicinity, it's proximity based, so one person starts the detonation, and the more people that are within the bomb, the quicker it detonates. And when you get 4 of you and you detonate it like that, it's so satisfying. Second reason is because of all the kill streaks and ridiculous shit that is in the game mode. Like, we're talking chopper gunners, attack helicopters, air patrols, UAVs. Like, basically every single kill streak is in Fireteam, and it's fucking so sick. Overall, I had a lot of fun with the Cold War beta, man. It was really good. So hopefully they'll make those changes. Mainly the score streak system. I know all the other changes with visibility hit detection they'll probably fix, but score streak system, not too sure. Hopefully they will fix it. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If I missed anything, comment down below. Subscribe for more, and I'll have more coming to you soon. Peace.